Shabbat Shalom. Well, how many are still streaming shows on Netflix and Hulu and all those other places? Even though we're some of us going out and we're not completely hunkered down and locked in with COVID, how many are actually streaming anything? Raise your hands. Okay. There is a show streaming right now. I almost didn't want to watch it because the previews look so depressing. But it's on Netflix, and it's called Made. Not M-A-D-E, but M-A-I-D. Has anyone seen it? Okay. Part of it. It's tough to get through. It is both depressing and actually a little uplifting at the same time. If you could see that the character is working through her issues and working to get to the light. But before you get to the light, there is sometimes what? A lot of darkness. And the last time we were together, we were at Bereshit, and we were separating the waters and the chaos and the tohu vavohu and all of that. And that is really what she's doing in her life. It is a story of resilience in the face of adversity and the ability to persevere when all around you is chaos, turmoil, and abuse. And that no matter how much calamity life throws at you, having faith in yourself and something greater guiding you, it will help you overcome insurmountable odds. The lead character runs a group in one of the episodes. It's a writing exercise. She likes to write. And she asks everyone to tell about their happiest day. So all of you here and those of you at home, I want you to take a moment. If you'd like to close your eyes if you'd like, and think about, visualize what might have been your happiest day. Did anybody find that challenging? Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Because actually, I did. When watching the show, my husband, who has not been watching this show, but happened to catch the first few moments of this particular scene as we were leaving another show we were watching and turning this on for me to finish it, my husband looks at me and he goes, "Well, I'm going to tell you my happiest days. What were yours?" And I looked at him, and I had to stop for a moment. Like, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do I not have any happy days? Like, what's up with me? I'm trying to think about, my mind's trying to process, what was my happiest day? What was my happiest day? And then I realized, I was actually surprised, my issue was that I don't just have one. Okay? For me, life is a string of little interconnected moments, like a necklace, linking snapshots in time. There are happy days, but they're also commingled with the sad days. So sometimes it's kind of hard to differentiate, because sometimes those moments, they all kind of blend together and create something beautiful. So when you look at it, he turns to me, "Well, the day I married you, honey, was one of the happiest days of my life." Oh, good guy. That's right. Happy wife, happy life. Okay. So think about it. Maybe it's the day you got married. Maybe it's the birth of your children, or the smile and the delight in your grandchild's eyes. And Judy has a brand new baby grandchild, a son. When that baby first reaches out to you and holds your finger or smiles at you, it's so fabulous. Maybe, everyone knows here how much I like a new car. Maybe it's a new car, or accomplishing a long-term goal, or maybe it's bringing home a sweet-smelling puppy. For the very first time, we have some people who have done this recently, and cuddling that puppy and loving that puppy and smelling that new puppy smell. It's kind of like the smell of a brand new car. It's that new, fresh, wonderful feeling that you just want to wrap yourself up in, and you know that in there it's love. Life has many moments. The important thing is to stay in the game no matter what and reach for those moments. So now look at our temple. There were some happy times. Think about it. The very first service at the Hacienda Hotel. The very first service in the pouring down torrential rain that we thought nobody would come to at the PUC, and we were packed. Or what about the very first service here? The first ever, when we blessed Tony and Diana for the recommitment of their vows and their marriage, where Sasha had her confirmation finally after it had been changed the date 3 times and she learned several portions because she wanted to do it in the new building. Or the day when the mayor was here and we were just packed full and we had the dedication of our building. And we paraded in with these Torah scrolls, and it was a fabulous moment. Were we happy? These are happy moments, but there's not just one. Upon further reflection, when I really think about it, aside from the actual moments, and this was actually an aha moment for me, because my husband always says to me, why do you always have to live in a house with a view? And I thought about it, and most of my life I worked really hard to always have a house with a view. And when I didn't have a view, when I just had walls, I felt claustrophobic and depressed. And I didn't put this together until recently, until this moment, when I was thinking about what are my happiest moments. Aside from the actual moments, the real feeling of happiness and bliss is looking out at a beautiful sunset, looking out at the ocean, which we're so blessed to be able to do around here, or looking out the window and enjoying the view. Maybe you have a spectacular view of the city or the ocean or your garden. Take a look at this building. When my husband, the architect, designed it, what did I say? I want as many windows as we can have. We have French doors on this side looking out at Jerry's garden. We have French doors on this side looking out at Jerry's garden. And we have all the beautiful windows and our etched stained glass. And I look out at this, which gives me the inspiration to fuel these services and the spirituality for you, because I'm looking at the Magen David, the Jewish star, looking at the trees and the sky and the light of God that is everywhere. And I realize that even when I drive in my car, which Tony loves, he's convinced it's rose gold, and he says all the time, do you still have that rose car? With the top down, I feel the Ruach Elohim all around me, as we sang last Shabbat. That Spirit of God that is in the wind all around and embracing us. And these are the moments that are so wonderful and filled with blessing. And I realize that that is the common denominator. So there's absolutely, I guess, no accident that I stand here before you as your spiritual leader. Within all those happy moments is what? God. The divine is everywhere, in the wind, in the sea, in the sky, within us, in our prayers, in this sanctuary, in the love and the light of all of you, in the friendship and the community and the family that we feel. And I even must say, and those of you that know me, it is rather odd to feel that I actually feel happiness when I help someone transition from this world into the next. Because everyone has a story, and everyone has had good moments and bad moments, all those interconnected pieces in life that create an individual and what they have done and what they have given and what they have shared. And sometimes they have to look back and see the things that they are not happy with because they have to let that go in order to go to God. And it is a gift and a blessing to be of service in that moment. So our Parsha this Shabbat is Lech Lecha, all about going forward, and hopefully going forward in blessing. Kabbalist Rav Yaakov Nagin wrote in the beginning of the Parsha, Hashem calls to Avraham, Lech Lecha, from your land and your birthplace and your father's house. The Holy Zohar explains that the double language of Lech Lecha calls on a person to embark on a journey into himself or herself. Lech Lecha, unto yourself, to know and to fix yourself. In an awesome teaching in Orot HaKodesh, Rav Kook explains that when a person arrives at an understanding of himself or herself, he discovers, or she will discover, God. So this Shabbos, our patriarch Avraham is told to Lech Lecha, go forth, spread the word of the one true God, and enjoy the journey. Spread the truth and bring everyone closer to, in a sense, the happiness that can be found when you give up false idols and you reach for something more, something intangible and yet so real, something within yourself, journeying inward and then outward, sharing your truth, your divine experience, and then recognizing that therein lies happiness. Life is a journey of interconnected moments. So now I ask you to really think about it over this Shabbat. Where is your happy? Where does it lie? What was your happiest day? What drives you and brings you joy? We need to reconnect to this as we come out of COVID. Life is so fragile. There are highs and there are lows. There are good days and there are bad. There's a passage that we read, you heard it, that Lech Lecha, that moment when God just disturbs us toward our destiny, to Lech Lecha, Lechilach, and go forth. If we are complacent, there will be no real opportunities for happiness. It colors our whole perspective in shades of darkness or gray, rather than the bright, brilliant hue, that white hue that can be found in true happiness. When my daughter was 3, we lived in Malibu, and she pointed to the sky. We had a beautiful picture window, of course, and she looked at it and she goes, "Mommy, look, Mommy, it is the color of love." Love. It is at the core of everything. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for our planet, and ultimately love for God, and the gift that life truly is. That is where happiness lies. Overall, we are meant to go forth unabashedly with that spirit in search of happiness and the joy that can be found in the journey, in all the interconnected moments of the journey. This Shabbat and always go forth with happiness in your heart, and know that when you Lech Lecha, when you reach to know God, when you have that willingness to search and share the best in you and with others, that is when you will be able to experience the happiness and delight of sharing divinity with all. True happiness can be found with faith and fortitude and the quest to Lech Lecha or Lechilach, to go forth without fear and share the moments, little and big, that bring you joy and reflect the light of the divine. So may God's presence be with all of you here and online and around the world. May happiness fill your heart and soul with delight, and may it be our collective prayer that some of our happiest days actually lie ahead for us all. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom.